you're gonna go.
All right, this is KDM's fault. I have to thank Alyssa as usual, and also Morgan. We got some fun clips. I don't know if she's really soft sit, but close enough for me to put a fez on.
Invoke my constitutional amendment rights as well as my civil and civil rights.
You to remain silent, yes sir, no sir, okay?
Is there a problem?
Honestly feel threatened by this courtroom.
And this is not the circus. This is not a playroom. This is a court.
I'm very coherent and competent.
No one says you were incompetent, but you have bond conditions that you're supposed to live up to. And we've given you so much as we've also given you a lawyer, and you're supposed to treat everyone here with respect. And when you don't, there's serious consequences.
What? Is there a thing for self-representation? I know that is a third option as well.
Of course you can represent yourself. You can do open heart surgery on yourself too?
Well, I ask for fair representation in a speedy trial.
No one here does anything to hurt anyone. The only thing that we're concerned about here is public safety and that everybody gets treated fairly and with respect. That includes
life and safety against Harris County.
I don't know what to tell you about there, but you need to take that with whoever you feel threatened by. But here,
Harris County.
Here, we need to protect everybody in Harris County.
Me and my children.
We've given you a lawyer. I want you to treat him with respect. And I want you to treat our clerks with respect, our bailiffs, and us. I'm not asking for much. The only condition I put on you now is to not go back to the location where you were allegedly trespassed from. They don't want you there.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm telling you now, don't go back. That's the only condition that we have.
In regards to my housing, which is my documentation right here, that should be submitted into my file. My stuff is supposed to be terminated on the 30th of this month, which I had probable cause to actually go and speak with Gary Baxter in regards to my housing contract. I also emailed informal hearing before November the 1st and haven't got a response back.
She is not happy with the taxpayers. She was expecting more of like a Ritz-Carlton type of thing.
So I had every reason to be at Houston Housing Authority.
You may have had a right to be there, but at some point they're well within their right to say, look, we don't want you here anymore. You are creating a disturbance, so we would like you to leave.
Can y'all subpoena the cameras?
You can do whatever you want. You're going from here to here to here to here to here. Listen to what I'm saying and focus on this in the now. Don't start thinking of something in the future or something because you're not listening to what's happening now. You may have had a right to be there, but at some point you lost that because of the way you may have treated everyone, and they didn't want you there anymore.
I'd like to file a hate crime against Harris County, the city of Houston.
Okay.
Of course you do, Pumpkin.
You hear what I just said? What did I just say?
Oh, I can't go back to 2640 Fountain View Drive in regards to it being my property, but have an actual...
I believe so. It's the Houston Housing Authority.
Yeah, the Houston Housing Authority have an actual reasons to do that.
That's not to say you may send them an email. You could send them a fax. I don't know if that would include calling. As far as trespassing is concerned,
I can look into it, Judge. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was wrongfully evicted.
they can have an issue if she calls over there. That I don't know.
Wrongfully
The notice here
terminated.
that is kind of the subject of this incident does give her multiple options: email, mail, fax, phone, and she did send those emails.
I don't know now with them telling her they don't want her back. How does that play into?
They haven't asked for a no contact order and there's no specific person, I would say.
Exactly.
You know, because she
No response back from my
she still
emails.
has not been, she lives in, you know, she has housing assistance with the Houston Housing Authority judge. And it says her assistance will be terminated on the 30th. So I mean, this is where she lives of this month. So she's still got a couple more days to try to resolve whether she's gets to continue, you know, having housing assistance.
The only other thing, it's what's your last name again?
Simmons-Irvin, E-R-V-I-N.
You're very passive aggressive in the way you come off.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a victim of Harris County.
That may be well,
And so are my children screaming.
that may be well right. But in life, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. And when you go to these people and you act in such a manner that they think you may be threatening them, you're not going to get far.
It's
Listen,
retaliation.
are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, sometimes if you tuck your tail, you may get a lot more in life. I'll give you an example. I got pulled over months ago. I know I was in the right, but the officer came up and he goes, "Why did you stop? Why didn't you stop at that stop sign?" I know I stopped. May have been for a second or two. I told the officer, "Listen, Simmons," I told the officer, "Look, I'm sorry. It was an accident. I'm an idiot." He let me go. If I would have said to him, you a-hole, you're wrong. I didn't stop. I did what I was supposed to do. What do you think he would have done? He would have probably given me 5 tickets. But because I said, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. It was stupid for me to do that.
Well, when you're facing reverse psychology
You get more with honey.
and they try to provoke you,
So what? Who cares? Be the bigger person. You're still going to get more. That's life. That's maturity. And when you tuck your tail, sometimes you get so much more, even if you're in the right and they're in the wrong. Who gives a shit? Sometimes that's what you have to do.
I also understand the indirect language it is in the Harris County Handbook dated 2021. And anybody that threatens and harasses me in it, I have every right to press charges.
Did you just hear anything that I just said?
I did.
No, this is the ultimate product of the current culture. Just this is the end game. This is what you get.
Understand, I won't be there, but I know that I had every right to be. So if I'm forced out on the
You
streets,
don't have every right to
it'd be
be.
because of the government.
You don't have every, I am telling you now, and I'm ordering you not to go back to this place.
I'm not going there, but I have every right to speak. So I guess I need to contact Washington or somebody in regards to my contract and things, because this is a government facility. And as it says your housing assistance will be terminated on 11/30/2024. I also have 2 different client numbers as well. One number is 582213 and another one is 251651. So I had every right in regards to speaking with Gary Baxter again, which is right here, Kenneth Coles, Gary Baxter. Also received an email to reinstate my housing, I guess, I don't know, from Gary Baxter in regards to all that. So I'm just confused, because if I'm forced out on the streets in regards to being homeless and they're trying to pass new laws, then just so hypothetically, of course, thrown back into Harris County against my will where I was held for 6 months, which is a violation of my constitutional and amendment rights, then it's retaliation. Also, I was told to surrender my inheritance in the direct language while I was being attempted murder by Harris County.
Have you speak to Corey about everything. Just remember, be nice. You get a lot more when you're nice than when you start raising your voice and yelling.
I am a traumatized victim. So if y'all could please work with me in regards to that, because I am a victim of Harris County. I do have a VAWA, a Violence Against Women's Act. It is still in the residence portal and everything. Simmons Irvin.
If anyone ever treats you wrong, just tell me and I'll try to do what I can to help you out. In any way, any shape, form, fashion, whatever you know, I'll help you as much as I can. All you got to say is the word.
Also facing my children being, the child explicit cases.
Okay.
So let's just focus on just signing your
So I'm
condition.
going to have you sign the conditions. We'll have you stay with Corey. Just be nice. Hopefully you'll get your housing back if you're nice.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she's listening.
That's it. All right. Please.
Simmons Urban. Simmons Urban. That's what I go by.
Do I have at least 2 witnesses that they are committing treason? This is treason. They're violating my rights.
Page 3, Mr. Dickerson.
All right. You think that was bad? This will make you want to claw your eyes out. You can thank Alyssa.
Mr. Dickerson here.
Right here.
All right, sir. How are you doing today?
Fine.
Okay. So we are here. I received something. Was it from pretrial services or from probation? Lydia.
I believe it was pretrial, Judge, is what I'm being now at that.
Yes, because if it's bond conditions, it would be pre-trial.
Okay, that's what so let's just get that in here and come in and let's discuss what is going on here. We had been approached by the supervisor at pretrial services. What's the status? What's going on?
From my understanding, he needs to switch his GPS, and he does not want to switch it until it's court ordered by you.
Okay, so why does he need to switch it?
We switched companies, and then I believe we need to add an exclusion zone, and that's why S&PD is here.
Okay, does Mr. Facundo need to be here to?
I just called him up here.
Okay, why don't we do this, just so that everyone's clear on what's going on, just have you step back for a moment. It doesn't take him any time to get up here, and then we'll put it all out to discuss, all right?
What do you mean, go sit back down?
Yeah.
He'll be up here soon.
Okay, he'll be up here soon. All right. We got Facundo here. Mr. Dickerson, can you approach, please?
Mr. Dickerson has been advised about the trips.
Okay. Thank you for coming up.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what we were talking about was what was the status and what we needed to do today and what were the changes that need to be made. Can you lay those out for me?
The only change as of right now, according to the order that needs to be made, is the device switch to the device that we're using in our department.
Okay. What device did he have previously?
He has a device with safe monitoring solutions. So prior to us getting the contract for our own GPS devices, all defendants were referred out to a third party for GPS installation.
Very good. Okay. So can you take care of that for me?
I talked to his office and they told me repeatedly that I could keep my current company that I've been using since last December. We're almost at trial and my billing is through a third party. And at the moment, I can't pay to switch devices. So we're almost there. We're almost at trial. And suddenly with, what was it, a day's notice? Something like that. They requested me to change devices.
How long ago was that?
That was at July 4th. So I think it was the 3rd, right before the holiday. And they told me I'm in full compliance. So he's saying that he's requesting me to switch companies, but the office, he even told me last time I spoke to him, I'm in full compliance. There's no need to switch. We're almost at trial. It's August 12th.
Well, there is a need to switch that he's argued. Is there the possibility of doing the exclusion zone that you're requesting and him be on the system that he's on right now and you still be able to oversee his pre-trials?
Not as immediate as we are now. Since it's through a third party, if a violation was to occur, the third party will receive that violation and then notify us via email how long that takes, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, versus the immediate violation coming to the officer, text, email, once it occurs.
Okay, and is there a reason for concern that there are violations?
The concern that was brought up was from San Marcos Police Department.
And what's that?
Being around San Marcos City Hall, taking pictures of vehicles.
Which is untrue.
Okay, what's that about?
I wasn't at City Hall. I went to the area behind the Catholic Church here in town, and I never went near. I drove by City Hall, but then I received That's his explanation. It's untrue. I never did that. And I have a GPS monitor on my ankle. He should know that, right?
Well, I think that's the point, is that he can't know it because it has to go through a third party.
He said 45 minutes. That's, how long ago was that? A month ago, almost?
It was this month, July.
So do you have evidence that he was in the location that you're
I have
alleging?
not asked Safe Monitoring Solutions if he was around that location during that time period.
Yeah, so with 1 day's notice, or I believe, maybe 2, I didn't even go to the location. They requested an exclusion zone, me to change companies. San Marcos PD would not provide an explanation. At least he would not give me their explanation.
They have an
And-
officer from San Marcos Police Department available.
Can you approach, sir?
Yes, sir.
Really?
We'll go on the record in CR 235467F, State of Texas versus Morgan Dickerson. Can council please make their announcements for the record?
Allison Boost for the state.
Mr. Dickerson, you're representing yourself in this case.
Mhm.
Let's make sure that it's a yes or a no, because she's
Yes.
taking down what we say. Okay, so the question here is about location of Mr. Dickerson. And do you have knowledge of that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your arm down. What's your name?
My name is Joseph Osborne.
Okay, and how are you employed?
I work as a police officer at San Marcos Police Department.
Okay, and so tell me what's going on that we need a change for the defendant's conditions.
So on July 1st, I was made aware of a call for service at City Hall where Mr. Dickerson went up there and was taking videos and pictures of buildings in that area, which is right next to St. John's Church. And then an employee who was about to walk into the building suddenly turned around and noticed that Mr. Dickerson was right behind him recording with his cell phone. And then when he questioned him about it, Mr. Dickerson told him that it was kind of just a case of mistaken identity. And then from my understanding, that was also confirmed by that third-party GPS monitoring system that he was at City Hall on that date.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell the
Yep,
court?
chili all over
No,
again.
State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any questions?
Well, yes. The first most important thing is, was I at City Hall, yes or no? Was I outside City Hall?
Yes,
Do you have evidence of that?
there's cameras on City Hall, yes.
Okay, do you have pictures, any evidence here? Have you sent it to the court?
No, this is not that type of a hearing.
Isn't it? It's about an exclusion zone, correct? And you came here just to verify the reason for an exclusion zone. So
Yeah, which
where's
is what I
your-
just told the court.
the truth is exactly what I told you. I parked on the edge of the parking. I drove past City Hall. There's a parking lot adjacent to the Catholic Church. I got out, went behind the Catholic Church. My phone was out. I had headphones in. I don't know how he would think that. First of all, is it illegal to take video or pictures now? Is that an issue? There's no reason that would be a
What
problem.
is the issue there with him being at City Hall?
I could speak to that as well, Judge. For me, it's just concern, and on behalf of the police department, it's concern that sometimes we've seen in the past that that's a probing type behavior when someone's finding targeted violence. They'll go to a location such as the City Hall, examine what kind of security measures are in place and kind of controlled access, which was an additional concern for me when the employee that was attempting to get into the building noticed how closely he was being followed behind.
Okay. Is there anything, have there been any charges for any threats?
No, there have not. Again, that was just concern. It wasn't a criminal charge or criminal offense.
Okay, do you need to go to the City Hall?
Perhaps. My father owns a real estate investment company. And if I accompany him, I might need to go to City Hall. And depending on the distance from the location, that's right in central San Marcos. And so on a daily basis, I might go by there. It doesn't make sense. Why would I need an additional exclusion zone for City Hall? I've done nothing. They don't even know if I was taking pictures or video. It's just ridiculous. I think anyone could see that. It doesn't make sense. And we're almost at trial. And like I said, his office said that I was in full compliance and I could keep my current company there's no evidence of any wrongdoing for an additional exclusion zone. They told me I could keep the same company, yet here I'm being requested to change it when I had the arrangements already made through trial for payment. It just doesn't make any sense.
Okay, good. State, would you like to add anything? Any argument?
Your Honor, obviously, there's pretty serious charges that the defendant is facing. We are set for jury trial based on my review of the evidence, and I'm sure the court has access to the probable cause affidavit. I think the court can also understand the safety concerns of the San Marcos Police Department. I don't think the defendant has articulated any particular reason other than financial hardship, in which case we can look into alternatives in terms of the court covering those costs of switching to the GPS provider that pretrial services needs to be able to actually continuously monitor him. I don't think it's an unreasonable burden, and given the safety issues in this particular case, I think it's warranted.
Okay. May I say something?
May?
I think that the requirement to have a GPS might itself be removed. Look what I'm dealing with. This is since December, right? So that's 8 months I've been wearing this. No issues. And when they do come up with something, I went to the church, I had my phone out, which, okay, how many people are doing that? It doesn't make sense that they...
Are you saying you weren't on City Hall grounds?
No, I wasn't. Well, I wasn't at City Hall, the building itself, but their parking lot is adjacent to... I don't know how the buildings are, the ownership there, but I wasn't at City Hall. I know where City Hall is. I passed it.
Do you deny that you were taking videos of someone going into City Hall?
Yes, I deny it. It's untrue. And so what I'm saying is that the GPS right now is an expense and it's not providing any benefit to the state or to myself, because they should have, it should work both ways, right? I was wearing a GPS. They should know I was not outside City Hall. Yet they're claiming they have this evidence that I was. I just think that the GPS itself is just at this redundant at this point.
Okay, his point is well made. Is there any evidence from the third party that you have requested afterwards to show that he was at City Hall?
Due to Mr. Dickerson not being assigned to me, I have to get my laptop to check the officer notes.
Okay, well, let's check it. I mean, let's know what's going on if we're going to accuse him of something. Anything else you want to add?
No, sir. The police department, I believe, does have that information that you're requesting about the GPS verification. I don't have it personally on me, but.
Okay.
Can I say?
Well, if you want to step back and get it, you may.
Sure.
All right.
Can I make one more point? I live adjacent to the exclusion zone, the property that's the exclusion zone, next door neighbors. And so I have an exclusion zone set up to the property I live adjacent to.
Where do you live?
Do you need the address or?
Yeah, I mean, it's the probation. I mean, pretrial knows where you live.
Yeah, and if you look at it, it's an apartment complex. I live right adjacent to it, like adjoining property. So to me, it didn't make sense that I would need a GPS.
Okay. Well, everyone's looks for further evidence. We'll go off the record. Everyone can step back.
Okay.
And we'll look at what's going on. All right, look, your point I'm taking and I'm considering, and I understand the position that you're making. All right.
Okay.
So we'll just stay cool. And
go sit down again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to step outside. I'll be right back.
Okay, but you'll be back. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge.
Are we ready on Dickerson?
Yes, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
but okay, let's approach on that. Okay, what we did is we stepped back. Yeah, we can go back on the record. We'll be back on the record in CR 23-5467F. Counsel for the state is present. Mr. Dickerson, who represents himself, is present. We stepped back. Mr. Dickerson, I had asked you if you were at City Hall. You denied that. You said, yes, I deny that. Then you asked Mr. Facundo to go and prove it up, which I think is a fair thing for you to do. If they want to say that you were there, then show the evidence. You asked them to do that. Were you able to find any evidence, Mr. Facundo?
Yes, Your Honor. July 1st, approximately 2:40 p.m., his GPS device puts him at San Marcos City Hall, and then past that around other properties behind City Hall as well.
Have you had the opportunity to look at that evidence?
Well, that corroborates my story. I drove past City Hall.
Okay. Did you have opportunity to look at the evidence that shows that you were at City Hall?
No, I have not, but it's not accurate if it's showing me off the road, which it is. But I drove past Catholic Church, so in general, yes, it looks accurate. But it's exactly what I said. I drove past City Hall. It's right here at this location. The officer said, I went to City Hall, and I just drove past. And so, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Okay, so drove past City Hall, went here, and I'm not sure why, but I went to the back of this Catholic show.
We'll let him.
So it's not showing one of the locations I went to, perhaps because of the tower there.
Your Honor, up here, City Hall, the church is over here.
Yes. So
And these are other buildings that belong to the city of San Marcos.
drove past City Hall, parked over here, went to this area. On the way out, turned around.
It's approximately
So
8
it-
minutes.
And that's another thing. Why doesn't, if each ping is showing my location as I'm moving, why doesn't it show 2 for me leaving this area? Unless there is, no, there isn't. It's just 1. So it should show a second ping for me leaving. It doesn't. But
So you're suggesting that that information there is inaccurate?
yes and no.
Okay, well, I'm going to take the yes. Here's what we're going to do. I don't want you to use an inaccurate GPS apparatus. You will change it to the new apparatus that's being requested. And I'm also giving you the order, and this will be added to your conditions. Do not threaten, harass, annoy anyone at City Hall. Now, that may not be a criminal offense to annoy someone, but as part of your conditions, you may not threaten, harass, or annoy anyone at City Hall. To the extent that you want to go and see what is happening or see your government at work, I want you to have that opportunity. But if you are, for instance, following people as alleged, I'm not upset about that right now, but if you are following people very closely and holding a phone up to them, that would qualify as annoying someone. Anyone would not like that. And I'm telling you, while you are on bond, do not do that. Please get that changed. It's an order of the court. And please do not threaten, harass, or annoy anyone at City Hall.
Let me say this.
Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying, but there are 2 things I'd like to argue if I can, is that one, the GPS wasn't inaccurate.
Well, it was just inaccurate a minute ago. If this
It didn't-
GPS is causing a problem, then we're going to get it changed. So please get it changed.
It corroborated my story though.
Okay, well, and that's why I am not saying that you violated any conditions, but what I want us to do is be very clear that if you have a GPS unit on, it is the one where it will be registered immediately and is completely accurate. There was a yes and a no, a yes that it was not inaccurate. We're going to have a new system, so please have that changed. That is part of the orders of your condition of bond. Do you understand?
Okay, so let me, if I can, just clarify all of this.
Yes, sir.
His office said that there was no issues with my current company. I was in full compliance. I've spoke to them more than once. So the current company was fine, they said. The officers are using...
Can we agree, though,
Okay.
they must not think it is okay
I know,
at
just...
this point, right? They must not think it's okay if they're asking that you change it. Are you asking that it be changed just to pester Mr. Dickerson, or is it because there is a difference in what the service provided on the other GPS system?
The latter half, Your Honor, not to annoy or pester Mr. Dickerson, it's to accurately monitor.
And I think that's necessary because if you're in those locations, they need immediate access if you are going and attempting to threaten people at City Hall. I'm not saying that you have. I'm saying that there is evidence that makes me want to ensure that does not happen.
Okay, I'm just trying to clarify.
Okay.
Because I'm going through this whole issue here because of the GPS for reasons unknown. Additional exclusion zones, changing
There's no
companies.
exclusion zone now. That's not an exclusion zone at the city hall. I didn't order that. Okay. What I've said is.
And my current one is.
Hold on. I just want to make sure you understand. What I am saying is that you may not go there and threaten, harass, or annoy anyone. So if there is evidence of that, if someone at City Hall sees that and they have valid evidence, they can present that evidence, and that would be a violation of your bond.
I understand. So I'm just stating that they said there's no issue with the current company. I had billing arrangements made through a third party. So I'm covered through trial. If I change now, I'm not going to be able to pay it, and it's going to be a moot point. It's going to be an issue. I'm paid. I'm current. It's August 12th is the trial date. We're almost there. And like I said, with the current situation, the GPS wasn't the problem. It's how they're interpreting the data. Because why am I going in front of the court just because I drove in front of City Hall? That makes no sense.
Well,
that's the only issue here.
That's not the allegation.
It's how the data is interpreted. So the GPS isn't the problem. They've even stated this. And like I said, I spoke to his office. Did your office not say that was in full compliance with my current company?
We're not going to do that.
I can't switch at the moment. And that's the issue.
Okay. You can, and you will, or you will not be in compliance with the condition, which is that you will use a specific GPS that is requested by Mr. Facundo. Now, I know that what you are claiming is that all you did was drive by. What I have heard from them is that's not what they're suggesting. They're suggesting that you did even more. We have evidence from someone. Now, I'm not going to, for that reason, I'm not saying that's enough to exclude you, but I am telling you, what have I told you that I don't want you to do in and around City Hall?
Annoy people.
Well,
that was your
threaten
term.
or harass.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. All right. So you understand what is required by you, and we will see you back here for your next set.
I can't switch companies at the moment. It's not feasible, like I said.
Okay. We'll work with pretrial services to see what you need to do to make it feasible. All right. They think it is feasible. That is why they are requesting it. They're not doing it as a punishment to you.
Okay.
But what we want to do is make sure that the community is safe. That is what this is based on. All conditions of bond are based on community safety.
I understand. It's no issue. It's, like I said, we're almost at trial, and now I'm going through all of this issue when I'm paid in full with the current device, and they told me, you said talk to him to work it out. Well, I spoke to them. They said I'm in full compliance with the current device. And if I haven't done anything to anyone, I wasn't annoying, harassing, or doing anything to anyone at City Hall, right? I wasn't, so there's no issue here.
Can I just get a point of clarification? Mr. Dickerson, is it your testimony under oath to this court that you never got out, that you never set foot outside of your vehicle at City Hall?
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that on the record.
I drove by City Hall, and, this just doesn't make sense, like I said. Full compliance. You said speak to him. He said full compliance.
There is evidence enough to do an exclusion zone. I have not done that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. If you step back, we've got to move to our next case.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, Judge.
Mr. Dickerson, can you approach, please?
It takes a turn.
Morning, sir. All right, we need to communicate, sir, okay? So I understand that you or your family has hired you an attorney?
No,
Okay.
that's not.
Okay. Ms. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. His father's name is Reagan Dickerson, and he's actually a family friend.
Irrelevant. I'm representing myself. I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's
Irrelevant, like I said.
Okay.
No.
I think it means objection by irrelevance. He keeps saying it. It's kind of fun.
We're not going to interrupt her.
Pro se, I'm representing myself. My father, I haven't communicated with him in a significant amount of time. legal defense on my behalf? No, I'm pro se, and I'm representing myself. So that's who she is irrelevant. It's just
Okay. Well, what I want you to do is please, for a moment, allow her to talk to the court. Okay.
for what purpose? This is abnormal.
It's my understanding that Mr. Morgan Dickerson is pro se. He's representing himself. Family has hired me as standby because there was a concern for potential mental illness, and I feel that that has not been properly addressed. As the case is still pending, we'd like that to get addressed. I can offer some information, which I've already offered to the state, so that they perhaps can make, or the court can make on its own motion, a request for compensating sanity at the time of the offer. So it's imperative that that be done at this level. It's going to come back on appeal.
Okay, well, bring something to me. I have gone through the forever warnings with him. I've done the informal hearing as required in the
I've seen
code.
that.
He is always presented himself as knowing what is going on in his case, as knowing what is happening, and he has a right to represent himself. He's chosen that right. I've always honored that right. Is that not true, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to submit anything, you may, but it needs to run through him as well.
I understand that.
He needs to know what's being done. If you would, I'd like you to speak to her for a moment.
No, it's not necessary. I've already declined, and I don't know why she's here.
Okay, well, I understand someone in your family has,
No,
you've talked,
irrelevant.
okay, let me
Pro se.
let me finish.
We all know that, so it's who she is. Like I said, this is the conversation we don't need.
You have talked to me on multiple occasions about your father. You said,
Have I?
yeah, you said a car is your father's, right? And you told me your car is your father's.
No.
Oh, okay, you have. I didn't make that up. You don't remember that?
No.
Okay.
We never discussed our vehicles together. No.
Okay. Nevertheless, you have discussed your father. He has been a part of this in one way. Who paid your bond?
My fault. That's the only
Okay.
part he's played.
Which is number one, wrong.
Involved, and you told me about your father. He's paid your bond. You've told this court at one point that your vehicle was in some way related to your father. I don't know what it is. And now your father's involved again in a way. So I'm hearing that he's been involved up until now, and he's now asked this attorney to be involved. Here's what, in the end, whether you're going to take her, I'm going to ask you to be respectful to this attorney and speak to her for a minute so she can tell you the information that she has.
I apologize, but like I've stated, I have declined whatever services she's offered, and it's not under consideration.
Okay? Well, I want you to just go and talk to her for a moment.
We're not
You cannot,
going to speak. I don't know who this is, and we're not going to speak. I don't need your services. So, no, thank you. I would proceed.
what we-
Diagnosis, Your Honor, schizophrenia bipolar.
Because some random person shows up saying that she wants to, I don't know, go through a gamut of things that I find are unnecessary, and suddenly I'm schizophrenic. That makes no sense. Like I said, does the court not see why I might decline conversation or any association with this?
well, here's
I think it's
the
obvious.
thing that I know. This attorney is well
In Monty Python terms, he farts in your general direction.
respected in the courthouse.
Is she?
Let-
I mean, we're all hearing this.
as she is. She's well respected. I respect her. The other judges respect her. We have heard her to cases, and she is on our list of important attorneys who will be appointed. So I respect what she has to say, okay? And I want you to speak to her, even if you only speak to her because she's going to have to report to me what you said.
I apologize.
Even if you say, if you sit down and respectfully tell her that you don't want to speak to her,
I just
you
do
can do
that.
that. You're going to
So-
do it over there
I understand what you're saying.
because she's going to report to me, and she needs to report to me how your conversation went. All right? Now, let me ask you some questions. And this is part of the issue of whether you are going to represent yourself, is how you answer these questions. I have to do this under the code. I have to ask you, as I have, do you know who this person is?
I've seen her before.
Okay. And do you know what her role is?
At these proceedings here today, no.
Do you know what her role is generally?
Representing the state.
Okay. What is the state's role?
Why would I need to answer them? She's right here. She can
Right,
state her purpose.
So this is part of what I am required to do under the code, is to ask you your understanding of these proceedings. Okay? And this
I was
goes...
taken here in handcuffs off a cement block. So I am being informed of the proceedings and what their purpose is right here now. So she can inform me.
So let me just tell you what I'm trying to figure out. Are you not answering these questions because you don't understand them or because you are unwilling? Right? Because that's a big difference of how we proceed. Are you unwilling to answer the questions because you believe that this is your right to...
I'm not answering the questions because I don't know the answer.
Okay. Well,
Because,
then if
like
you
I
don't know
said-
the answer, then it sounds like you don't understand the proceedings that are going on. Please get me the paperwork to do a competency and insanity hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Like I
step
said,
back,
I was
step
not
back. We're
informed why I was brought
tried
here.
to ask you. Okay. All right.
There we go. How about a competency evaluation, my friend?
Morning, sir. Okay, we are here on a setting that is
That's for you.
we were here to do your sentencing today, but because of the first report that I received, we cannot proceed. Are you aware of that report?
No.
Okay. First of all, is it still your intention to represent yourself?
Yes.
You understand that I cannot treat you in any way different than if you had an attorney, right?
Yes.
And you represented yourself the whole time making that decision, and it is your intention to continue to do so now, representing yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. Based on that first report that I received, a doctor has determined that we can't move forward at this time.
For what reason?
All right, he just goes over and hits the mute. My guess is he flunked the competency evaluation, obviously. And that's where we leave it.
Cases?
Yes, there's only a warrant on it.
All right, Morgan's at it again. We had this guy on before. He's a pipe fitter. He's a bullshitter. He's a midnight toker, this guy. And he it's fun because we had this whole hearing. This is like a replay of that hearing, but it's fun and different. O'Donnell's not having it. But I just want you to keep in mind as we listen to this pile of BS that he has a bunch of future violations
970.
Okay.
that we already looked at.
AM 23-367. Violation of community control. Violation is admitted using cocaine on May 16 and May 28. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. I've had an opportunity to discuss this matter with my client. He's prepared today to waive both the probable cause hearing and the final hearing and plead guilty to the violations, Your Honor.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, then as to both charges, what is your plea?
Guilty?
All right, I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. What's the problem? What's the problem?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing? Okay.
No, I mean, I'd like to speak with you when we can.
Go ahead. That's why I asked you what the problem was.
All right. Your Honor, when counsel came out, when I first came in here, he had conveyed to me that they requested another 3 weeks in jail.
Well, I didn't, no, nobody, listen, forget all that. I want to know what the problem is. You were sentenced on 2 different cases for drugs, and you're running around using drugs.
I made a mistake, sir.
I know you made a mistake. Why?
I can't give you an excuse.
I don't want an excuse. I want a reason.
There isn't, I cannot give you a justifiable reason. I knew after I did it, it didn't even feel good. It was just, I'm not sure the word I'm looking for.
Well, you did it twice. You did it twice.
Unexcusable, sir.
You did it twice.
Yes,
It didn't
sir,
feel good the
unexcusable.
first time. Why'd you do it the second time?
Unexcusable.
I know it's unexcusable. Why did you do it? Why are you here? Why do you keep doing this? For 30 years now, why do you keep doing this?
You know, I thought about that today before I came to see you. It was like seeing an old woman or a girl one last time, and it wasn't even worth the while.
Ah, for Christ's sake.
Your Honor, Your Honor.
Oh, that was good. He's trying to be all cutesy. He's like, Judge, it's like a bad backslide. You can. The judge is like, no, I can't relate. Shut up, cram it.
I'm not addicted to anything.
Uh-huh.
So you just said, hey, probation officer, court, screw you. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, then what is it? What else would it be if you're not addicted to it? That means you don't need treatment.
Sorry,
That means you did it knowing you would get caught, right?
Well, you asked me this. I did it both times on Tuesday, Your Honor. And I have to go on probation until Monday. It's maybe because I've gotten heavy over the last year. It was slow to remove itself from me.
Oh, come on.
Your Honor, I'm trying to be genuine with my words.
Judge, he needs to relapse on drugs just to keep the weight off. I mean, it's down to a health issue at this point.
Try to be honest with your words. That's a hell of a lot better. Where do you work?
I'm a union pipe fitter.
Okay, so tell me what's the last job you were on before you got arrested?
I was at steel mill.
Doing what?
In Newburgh.
Doing what?
Welding. However, I have to back up just a little bit, Your Honor. I just got my license back like 2 weeks ago, and I'm a refrigeration tech. So I have service vans. So while I had driving privileges, I couldn't drive. So just recently, I just moved back to work automobile service. It's closer to my house. And now I'm just waiting for my ticket to come back up at the union so I can get a service van. It doesn't happen right away. I've been in the union since 2008. But before that, I was a dealer mechanic for General Motors for many years. I reverted back to working that right now until
So what's your current hourly rate?
$38.60.
$38.60. You're making $38.60 an hour. Are you working full-time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're on probation for drugs. You have a prohibition against using drugs while you're on probation. You're going to get tested when you go for your probation appointments. You're not addicted to drugs, but you're using drugs. Does that about sum it up?
I'm not addicted to drugs, sir.
Well, what about the rest of it? Does that about sum it up?
Yes, sir.
So you were willing to risk a job making $38.60 an hour, 40 hours a week. You consciously risked that to use drugs because you just wanted to. Is that right? Is that right? Or is it wrong?
It's not right or wrong, Your Honor.
And what is it? Explain it to me. Sum it up for me.
I'll do my best, Your Honor. I tried it again briefly. It got me no freaking where. Look where I'm standing.
Well, no kidding. Now, did you expect something different? What different did you expect other than to be standing here?
Well, no kidding. It just got me. I know it's simple, but it was the tone of it. Yeah, well, no kidding.
What different did you expect?
Well, that I did it twice, Your Honor, I expected it to be out of me. That's what I expected. I said this briefly a little while ago. In the last 10 months or so, I put on quite a bit of weight. I don't know if my metabolism slowed down. That's irrelevant. There's no justification.
Well, that's the first correct thing you said, is that's irrelevant, okay? You got a drug charge in 91. You got a drug possession felony in 08. You got a drug possession charge in 11. You got a drug possession charge in 11. You got a drug paraphernalia charge in 22. You got this one case here in February of 23, and then the next one in May of 23. But you don't have a problem with drugs.
Your Honor, Judge, I saw you approximately 10 months ago. I was doing fentanyl. That's what it was caught in my system. I almost thank you when I saw you after the fact. It's like playing Russian roulette.
Why would somebody who's not addicted to drugs play Russian roulette with fentanyl?
At the time, Your Honor, I was addicted.
What do you want from me?
What
do you expect me to do?
Well, I could say what would I like and what is.
Well, I know what you would like. You'd like to go home today.
Sir, I'm going to put what I would like and what I think I believe I need in one summary. Is that okay, Your Honor?
Sure.
What I would like is to carry on my probation, whether I go back to once a week, twice a week, carry on with my meetings, whether it be more meetings a week, and go to work so I don't lose my home and everything else that I've built hard to establish. And I, from the bottom of my heart, sir, I'm not a young man anymore. You'll never see me in this courtroom ever again. That's the honest to God truth.
I absolutely love when people tell me that. Because 99 times out of 100, it don't work that way.
I'm the 1% today, Your Honor. I just need one chance. I haven't had the best of luck in this past year. Things in my personal life, again, totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant, sir. And you said, you did drugs thinking you could lose all that. I guess at that second, it doesn't really go through your head. Maybe a little later it does.
Well, somebody who's addicted to drugs, it never does.
Can I interject one more, Your Honor? I can honestly say to you and swear to you on my life, I'm not addicted to anything except tobacco. That's the truth, Your Honor. And I could prove it.
How?
By doing what I just asked.
Yeah, but you weren't addicted to drugs when you used cocaine just because you wanted to, right? That was the big double middle finger to everybody.
Can I ask you something, sir?
Big old double middle finger.
Just by doing something, does that automatically mean you're addicted? I disagree with you, sir.
You can disagree all you want, but you're sitting there. Right?
You're 100% right.
Where did you get the cocaine on those 2 occasions?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I was with a lady friend, and she doesn't even know I was on probation. And I only see her on Tuesday. She's looks like an airline stewardess, so I can only see her on Tuesday. And she had some on plate. She didn't offer me any. I just took a little blow.
Oh, I'm not buying this story. I'm not buying anything he says, but I'm definitely not buying this story. This stewardess is not hanging out with you unless you're bringing the illicit substances. I'm sorry, my friend. I live on this planet.
And then I was over there the next week. I was a Tuesday, and I took a little blow. And the first time, I didn't even really feel anything. The second time, I felt kind of freaking nauseous. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I snorted, it's been a long time since I snorted any drugs.
How long you known her?
Maybe a year.
So you've been using cocaine with her for a year?
Oh no, sir. I've known her for a year, but I've only
no. The rest of the time we're at Bible study, Judge.
Been kind of seeing her for a few weeks. She didn't offer me any drugs.
Well, let me go back a little bit. Actually, she doesn't exist, and if she did exist, none of that would have happened. But to answer your question,
nothing. It was nothing like that. A professional woman, if you will.
It could mean a lot of things.
Well, no, I mean, like I said, she works for the airline, so I only see her, once or twice a month.
I imagine the airline's pretty appreciative that she's doing coke.
Oh, I mean, that goes off to some other area, Your Honor. Your Honor, I know you see a lot of people and you hear BS. Give me this one chance, please. I'll do anything.
Well, see, no, you won't, because you didn't. Didn't I tell you, isn't one of the things I told you to do not to use drugs?
Yes, sir.
And what is it? Didn't mean a goddamn thing when I told you that, did it?
I effed up, sir.
I know that.
Wait, let me kind of interject. We're all human. I made a mistake. I just want to be forgiven one time. I could show at this stage of my life. I'm not talking about 91, 2001, 2011. I'm talking about 2024, 54-year-old James Walsh. I need a
yeah, Judge, stop bringing up all the relevant history.
Chance. And I'll show Judge O'Donnell that I proved him right.
Didn't I give you that chance in August and September? Didn't I?
Yes, sir. But I didn't violate. I made a mistake. And then not so much for the drugs. I'll make another mistake.
See, here's the point.
Go ahead, sir.
Here's the point.
What else was it for?
In the grand,
I wasn't doing the drugs for the drugs. I was doing the drugs for what? Weight loss? And also the drugs.
Grand scheme of things, okay? You using cocaine twice that you admitted to, in the grand scheme of things, isn't a big deal.
It is.
What's a big deal is the reason I point out 91 and thereafter is because you've been doing this shit for 30 years. And you're doing it because you want to do it. That's why you're doing it, right?
No.
No, then why you been doing it all this time? Why?
There were different drugs in different times, and as I got older, you get wiser. Like I was just conveyed to you like 3 minutes ago. This last time I saw you, July or August of last year, I was put on probation. I messed up. I knew I take responsibility, Judge O'Donnell.
See, I don't even know what that means anymore, because everybody that comes in here takes responsibility.
Chewbacca's the only option he's got left, and he's built for it. It's perfect.
But nobody takes responsibility because they keep coming back.
I don't want to come back anymore, and I'll show you that I won't come back. I will.
But
All right, go ahead.
that's not the problem. What does it matter what I tell you if you're not going to do it anyway? Okay? The reason that you were using cocaine in May twice is because you wanted to use cocaine in May twice. That's why you used it. Didn't matter to you what the rules were. You wanted to do it, so you did it. So what does it matter? What does all this bullshit matter?
It does matter. It does matter a lot.
If it mattered, you'd be at work right now.
Yes, I would. Again, I hate to be repetitive, Your Honor. I made a mistake. This is going to be the last drug mistake I ever make in my life. I'll make other mistakes.
Again, remember, I've already streamed a future violation for this guy.
But not this. This is so serious. I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to lose everything. My house, my balls, my car. I got nobody to take care of James except James.
His balls?
I live with my family. I'm sorry.
When's that going to start?
When's what going to start, sir?
Taking care of James. Because you ain't doing a good job of it.
I'm trying, sir. Very much so. And I got a lot of faith and respect in myself.
Did he say he was going to lose his balls? I missed that the first time. That's odd. If the ones I think he's referring to, they're attached to you by Mother Nature in a handy little sack.
Did you pay your fine yet?
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Your Honor. I'm almost got the Willoughby paid off that where the case originated through. It's like right at like $80 or something, and then I'm going to start working on this. I just talked about that with Mr. Rendazzo.
So wait a minute. I'm not sure how you qualify for the PD if you're making $38.60 an hour, but that's a lot of goddamn money.
I earned that, sir.
I know you earned it.
No, I went to school.
I mean, I understand that.
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm saying is you got a good job. You have the ability to make $38.60 an hour. That's pretty good in Joe Biden's world, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty good. So I'm not sure how that income level qualifies you for eligibility for a public defender, but I don't really care. My point is you got a $375 fine that should have been paid by now.
Okay. Is that for Lake County Court? Or
That's the fine I imposed on you.
Okay, like I said, I'm almost done, sir, with paying Willoughby less than $100. I just paid my reinstatement, get my driver's license back of $500. It was just a couple weeks ago. I'm working on it, sir. Believe me.
How much training did you need to be a pipe fitter for the union?
Well, long story short, for a pipe fitter, it's just 5 years. But I'm in the. Are you laughing at me, sir?
No, I'm. You know what? I'm laughing at this whole. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone here.
Okay, I'm going to answer your question.
So tell me what it takes to be a union pipe fitter.
All right, 5 years of training, and then you are a certified pipe fitter. But I do the refrigeration side of it, commercial cooling, industrial cooling. So that's another 5 years.
Okay.
So actually, I'm still being schooled.
All right. So you got to know stuff, or they wouldn't be paying you $38.60 an hour if you
Yes,
didn't
sir.
know anything.
I'm not topped out yet.
Okay, so that's my point. You can't be an idiot and be a pipe fitter, can you? You
No,
got to
sir.
know what the hell you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Which then,
I don't know, Judge. It seems as though he is both an idiot and a pipe fitter. He's probably good at being a pipe fitter, but the rest of his life he's an absolute mess.
I don't understand anything about you.
You can ask me. I'll give it to you, sir.
Well,
Please, I want you to.
which one was the warrant on? 970?
Correct, Your Honor.
How long is he?
I got to tell you, from litigating some construction cases, the truth on the ground is those guys are the employers, the construction companies of the world, are so in need of these people. They do everything they can to not drug test or find things out. That's just the current state of affairs. All these guys, all that work is still necessary, and everybody who does this is old, and they're all retiring. Like literally the infrastructure of this country is going to implode in about 10 years because there's nobody to fix it.
Been in 9 days? And you came in here thinking you're going to get 3 weeks? I mean, that's where we started off this conversation.
Sir, you know what?
I
came in here not thinking really anything, sir.
I mean, you can walk away with 2 years in prison, right?
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that.
You're worried about 3 weeks?
No, sir. I know what I was up against. Serious.
So when is that $375 fine going to be paid? When? Give me a date.
Let's see. Today is June 11th, July 11th. Before that, by July 11th, for sure.
All right, this is on, both cases, you're going to stay on community control for the 3-year period. On the 970 case, you're going to serve 9 days with credit for 9. What days does he report?
Monday.
Every Monday?
Correct, now he will be,
You mean he was every other Monday?
for like 2 weeks.
Screwed that up pretty good.
Yeah, Your Honor. Input, sir. All right.
Go ahead, what were you going to say?
There was no correlation. Mr. Randanzo was pretty giving. It was coincidental with the time span. But in turn, yeah, I F'd that up too. Yep.
Okay. Notice how that worked out well. He went straight to IF that up too, and then he doesn't get another round of Judge O'Donnell just crapping on him because he went right to the end and the truth. It spared everybody some time.
Are you on any prescription medication?
Yes, sir.
What?
High blood pressure medicine, amlodipine, and I can't think of that. I can't think of the other one.
Atenolol?
No, it's.
Lisinopril?
I think that's it. There's two.
Did you? When's the last time you went to your doctor and you had a?
Oh, just like 2 months ago.
Did you tell him? Did you ask him? Should I use cocaine with this stuff or?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you get your license back yet?
Yes, sir.
Did he get his license back yet?
He did, Your Honor.
All right, so in this case, it's a 9 days. On both cases, then, no drugs or alcohol with screens, 3 AAs a week and a sponsor. one doctor, one dentist, one pharmacy, meds as prescribed, releases, employment, and decision points. You do the decision points program.
Yes, sir.
So you make good decisions.
Yes, sir.
I don't think decision points is going to fix him.
Now, what do you think my expectation is of your compliance going forward? What do you think I expect?
Number one, to never see me in this courtroom again and to adhere to exactly what you say and then some.
No, that was my expectation last time. My expectation this time.
My expectations have been adjusted. I have absolutely zero expectations of you.
Is I'll probably see you again.
No, sir. No, you won't.
All right, anything else, Mr. Watson?
No, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, all right. It's just,
All right, I've seen just a smidgen of this. It's been all over the place. It's made the rounds. Alyssa got it to me yesterday, but I was too beat up. That's really Yesenia's fault. She was yammering away, telling me to do things that I was supposed to do for my clients yesterday. And then I had to edit that horrific guy in Texas, and I just gave up and went to bed.
Circuit Court for the County of Kent is now in session. Honorable J. Joseph Rossi presiding. We are here in the matter of JMR. Case number is 20-05351GM. This hearing is being recorded on Zoom and live streamed on YouTube.
And this matter comes before the court on a review of the guardianship that is currently granted to Miss Riley. I think I'll lead off by taking Miss Riley.
I know they don't like each other, but the little matching bonnets, that's cute.
Riley's testimony on what
completely inappropriate, but cute.
What's currently going on with JMR. So, Miss Riley, if you would raise your right hand, you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Very good. And can you give me an update on how the child is doing at this time?
Oh, he's actually doing real good. He got a
There's a naked man in this at some point. I hope it doesn't demonetize the stream, but I hear it's mild. I don't know. We'll see.
IEP done, and he was struggling in school, but he's doing pretty good. Once he got his IEP done, they said that yes, he is like a little ADHD, but once I go to his doctor's appointment tomorrow and I have to take this paperwork, they say he need like a mild dose of something and he could be at the top of his class.
And what grade is he in again?
First grade.
All right. And how old is he?
He's 6.
Okay. All right. Well, most 6-year-old boys are pretty busy this time. And how about is he involved in any?
I've been blaming Yesenia since way back.
Any other activities besides going to school?
No, sir. He is because he's so distracted. I tried to do him in Loop, but Loop said they couldn't handle his.
Don't worry, I know it's my own damn fault.
His attention thing, how he act, they couldn't handle that, so we had to stop the Loop thing. So it's just really
What is the Loop?
The Loop program is at the school.
Oh, okay.
It's at the school. Yeah, we tried that and they gave me like the longest note, like they can't handle like his disability. So I took him out of that. He's not really into sports. So he likes to draw, he likes to be like on computers and stuff like that. So I got him a new tablet so he can do like some more learning activities and help with his sentences and his words. So we're working on that. But other than that, he's doing well in school. It's just he has attention. He gets distracted, and his help. He needs like a personal type of help.
Yeah, and the IEP should help with that because that'll qualify him, if needed, for a classroom aid.
In other words, he's not a girl.
Who can kind
Uh-huh.
of redirect him and refocus him. And I'd go with the doctor's recommendation on, medication. If that's what's recommended, sometimes write a low dose of, one of the Ritalin or Adderall, can be the right thing to help out, just during that time when, he needs the most help staying focused. Because my dad was a career teacher and he always said, the system's just not set up for boys who learn, by doing and experiencing more so than sitting in class. And it's really hard at his age just to sit still and do the work that's needed, even
It's not set up for boys, period. End of statement. You're correct, Judge.
He obviously smart enough to learn. So,
Mhm.
okay, good. Anything else medically, dentally going on with him that I ought to know about?
Oh no, he done got all the little teeth removed, so he a little snag a tooth right now.
Okay. He had a
So
bunch of them pulled out. Did he have cavities or something?
no, it was the two front ones. Remember when the two?
This is related. This is the same thing. We've denigrated anything that a man would naturally do for about 30 years in this country. And the chickens are coming home to roost.
Front ones that I always had the problem with. One of them came out, but the other one, when I was taking him to the dentist, it was loose. So as they was cleaning his teeth and doing all that, they just pulled it right on out.
Got it. So he's got a big gap up front right now.
Yes.
A spitting gap, as I think I used to call it when I was a kid. So, all right, very good. And from your perspective, how are the exchanges and parenting time going?
It'll be kind of fun to see, actually. With AI coming along, I'll tell you what, guys like me will be replaced long before pipe fitters. And you're gonna see a guy who's a decent plumber, pipe fitter, or electrician making about $300,000-$400,000 a year, whatever, inflation adjusted, and all the white collar people out on their ass, which is kind of funny.
Going with mom at this point.
It is the worst. It is the worst. And like I was letting your secretary know back in August when we had the meeting on my birthday. Before then, she sent me a message stating that, because I guess when child support sent the paperwork, I got a big it was a big problem. I'm like, it's not me pressing this stuff on you. I don't need nothing from you. But she made it like I'm trying to put child support on her, and it kind of blew up. And I guess when he came to check her home, it wasn't up to standard. So she just feel like she don't have to do these things. She's not finna pay child support. And she actually had sent me a message talking about, y'all could just have him. I'm about to pack his room up. I said, well, if that's the case, Quayla, I gave her some time. I'm like, well, if that's the case, let them know when we have court August 26th. She didn't do that. Actually, I don't think she'd even show. She didn't even do that. So I just let it go. I never pressed her about it. I never stressed it about it. You know what I'm saying? Because she goes through that. Okay. And then here comes September. She really wasn't getting them on the weekend at all. When I was letting her get them during the weekday, it was like her weekends was done. She didn't have to do the weekend, and then it became to where she'll get them whenever she feel like it. No, I don't call and press her. No, I didn't call and be like, are you coming to get him? Because I felt like she know what she has to do. And then the last time I picked him up, her gas was off. And that was in September. And then here it is, November, she's still staying at other people's houses and stuff. No, come October, she's still staying at she was staying at one of somebody I know. She was staying with them, her and her boyfriend. And so here it is. I was letting her take him to school and stuff once again, because she had just got out of jail, because I ain't seen her for a while. She ain't called. She ain't do nothing. I ain't seen her for a while. And I guess she had just got out of jail because she had a case with the boyfriend's baby mama, and Whatever that is, I'm not quite sure, but she had a case where she had just got out of jail. She called me and she said, I want to get my son. No problem. I don't never give her no problems. And so one day I asked her, I'm like, can you bring him home early because he was sick? He was sick for like a whole week, just like he's sick now because he don't like to keep his coat zipped up and stuff. And so I asked her, he had a lot of homework to do. I'm like, well, can you bring him home early? Cause so he can, try to finish up on his work. So she has him call me like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Nana, can I stay? She has him call me. And I'm like, no, you need to come home. You got stuff to do.
And that's 7:38 at night or in the morning?
At night.
Okay.
Just like 7:30 at night. Now I normally have him like in the tub and stuff about 8 o'clock in bed by 9. He didn't get there till close to 9 o'clock. So, okay. And I just text her, I asked you not to bring him home late. So the next day I get this long text message like I'm trying to control her. I'm trying to bully this and this. And I could have took him to school and I could have helped him with his homework. I don't let her help him with his homework because the fact that I don't know if she was joking around or what, but she like, yeah, I don't be knowing how to do some of the stuff. So I'll just give him the answer. That's not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to at least try to teach him and try to have him do it on his own. So I didn't let her help him with the homework. Then here come Halloween. Every holiday she has him. Every year they take him trick or treat. Okay, I just want to take him trick or treating this one time, and that went so far north. Now her mama don't call me at all. Her mama not blocked. Her mom don't nobody call to come and get him. But the second she gets an attitude, I got everybody and their mama coming through my phone, threatening me, talking this, doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute, where is y'all at any other time? Where y'all at the good times? Y'all always want to come in at the bad times. And it was like, then her sister texts me, can he go trick-or-treating with his cousins? He haven't seen them. And that's not my fault that he hasn't seen him. He goes with his mom. Then I got her mama texting me, you stupid bitch. And excuse my friend, I'm sorry. It's just like I'm everything under the sun. You know what I'm saying? All because I want to take him trick-or-treating one time. You get him every year. You get him on his
Okay, this is getting kind of fun.
birthday. You get him on a holiday. You get him when you want to.
And to clarify, it's not Miss Miller-Bird who's asking to take him trick-or-treating, but Miss Miller-Bird's sister with his cousins.
She asked, but prior to that, I let her know. I said, that was when she got out of jail. And she came and got him. I said, Quayla, what y'all want to do for Halloween? Because he do have like a little trick-or-treating date. It's this little girl, my daughter's friend. Her daughter name is Nova. He loved him some Nova. He really likes going over to play with her and everything, So they had a plan to go trick-or-treating, and like some years you go trick-or-treating more than once, so I didn't really know how this was going to go, but I asked her, I said, Quayla, what are y'all plans on doing? Because he do have like a little trick-or-treating date. You know what I'm saying? This is way before Halloween. And she like, I'm not sure. She said, just let me know what day you going to take him. I'm like, okay, fine. So here comes the date. Then it's, you're depriving me. She on Facebook. I'm depriving her from seeing her son. And it's a sad ass H that won't let nobody take their son to trick. I'm like, wait a minute. We talked about this already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm going to whoop yo, and wait till I see you pull up. She talking crazy all the whole time. She at somebody else's house. She ain't even at home.
All right. Where's Kelly? Definitely not kinky. Because that needs to be clipped and added to the song right there. That's good stuff.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why you not even at home? Is your gas on? Do you got a job? You want me to just bring me my son? Just bring me myself. For what, Quayla? You're not even at home. You can't even be at home.
Yep.
And
Okay.
Then her mom.
Yeah. So I see things have kind of come to a head recently, particularly with the Halloween thing. Did he ever wind up getting a chance to go with Nova? Or did that come apart?
No, he didn't even get to go with Nova. Nova ended up being sick. So I'm like, okay. after all of that, then I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not finna, okay, I'll just do it. And we went trick-or-treating. He had a ball. He was a cowboy.
Well, that's the most important part, that he got some candy anyways and feels like he accomplished the Halloween traditions.
Oh, there she is. Kelly, we've got a loop for you. It's fantastic.
So, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give it over to you.
Well, anything else you want to tell me, Miss Riley, before I switch to Miss Miller Bird?
Yeah, well, I mean, you already know about the paperwork. I just need to know where she resides so I can get this paperwork to her. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm sick of all these threats. Everybody want to threaten me because I want to do because of one thing. Oh, because you have him all the time. You have him all the time. Okay, and so do you. I'm just tired of it's like when she don't have her way, I don't hear from nobody in her family until she don't have her way. It ain't like nobody can't come and get him. Nobody can. Clearly, you're not blocked on my phone because you can send me all these crazy messages and all these threats. And when I get him, you're not gonna get him. And man, I am very much so sick of it, Judge. It's like to the point where I can't. We back to that point where if we come in contact, that I feel like I want to fight her.
Yeah. And when you're doing the exchanges right now, are those still occurring at the police department, or have you worked those out somewhere else?
We had work. She was picking them up from my house, Judge.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if we have to go back to, that old way of doing things, was that better back then when the exchanges were more structured at the police department?
Not at all, because hell, I got threats from her sister talking about how she gonna bust me in my face. The mama got everybody. It was always conflict when this time come. But when we're not conflicting, then I don't hear from nobody.
Got it. And and we got more holidays coming up, so we might have more of the same issues, because right now my order doesn't specify anything about holidays. I think it just goes on the day-to-day. But we got to figure out a plan to cover these holidays that are upcoming. So
okay.
All right. Thank you, Miss Riley. Let me swear in Miss Miller Bird, and I'll hear her side of the story. Miss Miller Bird, if you'd please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. And Miss Miller Bird, what's happening from your perspective right now?
Okay, so everything was going good, you know what I'm saying? Everything always, like once we got cool and all that stuff and was able to do the mutual agreements for the visits and stuff like that, and nobody was beefing and it wasn't fiery no more, I was able to come to her house and pick him up and stuff like that. She was able to come to my house and get him, all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? I was able to take him to school. I was able to pick him up from school. She didn't care about them weekends. We wasn't even doing the order how you had it no more. I picked him up when I want to pick him up, and I drop him off when I want to drop him off.
Okay. Well, and I got a question. Were you going to his school? I mean, like parent-teacher conferences and stuff like that?
She don't tell me when none of the parent-teacher conferences is. She will not put me on the thing. She will not put me on the list. She do not let me know nothing. She just come to me and be like, oh, conferences was today, but I forgot to tell you. But this
You just got out of jail.
Girl, why is she able to interrupt me? And I ain't say nothing when she was talking.
Yeah. Let me just take Miss Miller Bird's.
Oh, she was waiting to drop that jail stuff on her. Which is understandable. It's a damn fine argument.
Testimony first, and I'll give you a chance to talk, Miss Riley. So, yeah, I mean, is there any way you should be able to get on the list at school for email notifications and stuff?
No, I'm not on no list. She keeps saying that. I sent her my email and stuff. She keeps saying she don't got it. She forgot to give it to them. This and that and the third. Soon as she I'm gonna just put it on the floor. We don't need to do this guardianship no more, Joseph Rossi. I'm sorry, Judge Rossi. I'm sorry. I tried so hard to do it the way you wanted it, to get along with this lady and everything, but she's evil. She's spiteful. She doesn't want anything good for nobody but for herself. Do you get what I'm saying? Basically, all I'm saying is this. I tried to be cordial with her. I don't argue with her. I don't say nothing to her. It's already problem enough that I'm sitting up here being a mother to a child from somebody else's home. It hurts already enough that she's been with her for almost 2 years. I didn't get to send him off for his first day of school. I don't get to go to nothing.
You had him for the whole week. You sent him off the first week.
Hang on, Miss Riley. I'm going to give you a chance.
Can you please mute her?
let Miss Millibird testify first.
Oh, good Lord. We the feathers are flying and we have a long way to go here, people.
All right. Yeah, well,
She
and
unmutes
let me
herself.
backtrack a little bit here. Because we don't, I'm not here to review or to, you haven't moved to terminate the guardianship. I know
Yes,
you
I did. I filed a motion. I'm not doing this anymore.
Have
She
you
gets
filed a
angry.
motion currently that's in front of me, or was that the past one?
No, it's a new one. I just filed and I just got the court date for it. I can't do this anymore. She's not doing this for the better of him. She's not doing this for nobody but herself. Every time she get mad, she texts my phone and talk about how I'm not gonna get him anymore. That's what she just did. She lied and tells herself lies. I will show it. If I can show him right now, I will show it. She does this all the time, bro. She think that she gonna play a pawn with a baby. He's 6 years old and he's a child.
Hang on. Let me just pause you a second here.
She does it all the time, bro. To a judge is also good. That may get consideration for the song as well.
If we're gonna go through your motion to terminate again, then it's gonna involve the usual. It's gonna be a home study. That they're gonna have to come and inspect your residence. I'll order that. That's
well, I'm just here to say this. It'll be clean for the moment. Man, can I talk? Can she stop interrupting me? That is rude. I have not said nothing when this lady is talking. She's way older than me. Why does she keep cutting me off?
All right, she's muted now, so she shouldn't be interrupted any longer.
She makes a good point. Crazy as she is, she did shut her hole while the other one was testifying. I will give her credit. And that sort of objection made a lot of sense.
Go ahead and continue, Ms. Millibird.
Okay, so basically all I'm saying is this. Like, I understand that when we first started this guardianship, you felt like I wasn't the best at the time. But you know what I'm saying? I have switched it around a lot. You probably don't know that because you don't know me and you ain't in my life, and she don't know me. And she
Okay, maybe she had help. The mute button might have done it, but whatever, it worked.
She's not around me. But
Right.
I have a job now. It's part-time. I clean my cousin's building. I don't drink anymore. I got off my probation. They terminated it. It's over. That case that she brought up and said that I got into with my boyfriend's baby mama, it was false. They threw it out, and that's why I got my probation terminated. I'm not on no probation or nothing anymore. I'm a free woman, and I'm doing good. I got my license. She just needs to stop trying to put me down. All this stuff that you told me to do, I did. I'm changing for my son, and he can come home now. He don't have to be with her anymore. He don't need her anymore. She just doing all this stuff to get money, bro. Like she called the people trying to get money from me. I don't understand why her child support say she don't get income. She been working a job for 20-something years. Why does she need anything from anybody? Why?
Well, I mean, obviously, raising the child in this case does.
Okay, but I help her. I help with the clothes. I help with all that stuff. I might not give my stuff to her because this is my house, so I keep my stuff over here,
please.
and she keep her stuff over there. But I buy
That's quaint that you even ask.
my son everything. I can show you my son's room right now. I don't care what Travis said about my house. I can show you my house right now. And I didn't expect to be showing y'all my house at all. I don't have to lie about none of this stuff. A person just try to get, when she was going to court and coming to see you and everything was okay, she had nothing bad to say about me. But as soon as we're not getting along, now my gas
Andrew is
off,
involved.
I ain't this, I ain't that, I ain't this, I don't need my son, all this weird stuff that I'm not with anymore. My baby is a baby. He cries to me every time he sees me because he wants to stay with his mom.
Was your gas off, Miss Millibird?
Yes, it was off. My gas was off, and you guess what? It was right back on.
Okay, so you're good now. You got heat for the winter. That's good. Well,
I don't understand. Why is it a big deal for my gas to be off? We are human. Sometimes things happen.
It's a whole different thing,
exactly.
right?
What was her reasoning for saying that? She's doing all this to be spiteful. I just want you to see that. Like, ain't no reason for us to keep trying to reinstate this guardianship. She don't want me to have my baby. She's trying to keep him from me. She's trying to ruin. I don't know what she got going on. Why would you go sign my son up for an IEP? He's 6 years old, trying to get him on medication. He's 6. I just told her when she was living in my house, I didn't want him on no medication. Now all of a sudden you got him for an IEP and you about to get him on some medication. Why? So you can get an SSI check? Why?
Well,
I mean, to use him for income.
Yeah, she nailed it. She's right. I know she's crazy, but her argument is correct. It is. It is. She wants to medicate this kid and then get SSI out of the deal.
Come, mind you, she got mad at me last year because I claimed him on my taxes, and she, bro, like she thinks she owns him. She does not own him. She tried to get mad and say, "Oh, well, since you're not doing it my way and you're not listening to me and you're not bowing down, oh, you ain't seeing him no more. You ain't getting him no more." She do all this fake stuff when we get on court. She was just on Facebook talking about me too. And she's 40 something years old. She was on Facebook talking about how I ain't got my son. That's why she got my baby. I'm not getting my son back. I don't want him. I don't love him. I'm not getting him back. I do everything for him just for tax money. This lady is evil. I'm tired of dealing with her. I'm tired of pulling. I'm sorry for yelling. I'm so sorry for yelling, Judge Rocha. I'm not yelling at you, but I'm just frustrated with the situation. I'm tired of dealing with her. I'm getting too old for this stuff. I already got one of my kids took and they gone forever. I'm not getting them back. I'm not seeing them no more. I don't know.
Okay, so she's out of control, but she's making a lot of sense to me. The delivery's not the best, but she even apologizes for that. And I understand why she's upset, but her argument actually makes sense to me.
Look like it hurts. I'm not trying to do that with my son. I'm trying to be better for my son. I only got one left. That's all I got. Give my baby back, please. He don't want to be with her.
Of course, getting thrown in jail didn't help her cause.
He tells me every time when he come over here, he don't want to live with her no more. Every time. He don't even have no room over there, and he's 6 years old. Why is he still sleeping in the bed with you? Why? And he have a whole bed over here.
Well, I can say, our 5, soon to be 6-year-old daughter crawls in beside my wife. She said she gets cold every now and then and does it. That's not unusual.
And I get that. Nothing wrong with that.
And
He do that here.
let me just speak to kind of lay out the lay of the land here. The way things, I see them going with the guardianship. And I'll tell you what I'm not going to do is I won't terminate it today, kind of on a whim.
She screwed up to get herself in this position. There's no two ways about it. But then you've got I'm not that close to it, but I'm guessing there's some merit to what she's saying.
I called this hearing because I had heard from Miss Riley, that there was conflict going on regarding parenting times, and things had kind of hit a low point, and and if you've already filed to terminate the guardianship, then we'll conduct the home study and the hearing and all the things that we did before. And I can tell you my expectations, are going to be more or less the same. The home study will involve, a visit to your place and a, determination whether it's appropriate or not, evaluation of your work and your income situation, to see, if those things are sustainable. How about going to counseling and doing those things, Ms. Willibert? Are you still engaged with that?
Yeah,
ahead.
I still go to counseling and stuff like that. But I really haven't been I really haven't been dealing with anything. I really been doing really good, even though my sister just passed away September 8th, and I have been really doing good. Honestly, I have been doing good with everything. I've been dealing with my emotions pretty well. I haven't been lashing out too much or crashing out too much. I told you I don't drink anymore. So that's a big help in a lot of the stuff. I've been eating different. Oh yeah. And I meant to tell you also, when she was saying that I wasn't able to get my child, I do have something going on with my stomach. I don't know what it is. It's a gastrology problem. I got a appointment on December 4th. It had caused me to be very sick and lose a lot of weight. I told her that. I was sick and I wasn't going to be able to get him. It was for a long time too, that I didn't expect it to be as long as it was, but it was for a long time. It's just funny to me how every time when we cool, everything is good. It's okay for me to, do what I'm doing. If I got sick, it's okay. Everything's okay. But as soon as she don't like when I'm speaking up about my child, everything's a problem. Now she coming and she got so much bad to say about me, and now I'm this.
Do this today, Your Honor. My health is in jeopardy right now.
What's up?
I have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome.
I have nothing bad to say about her. All I need to say is that she is evil and she just wants to keep my baby away from me. There's no reason why she should be raising my son. There's no reason why. I have nothing is wrong with me. I'm not hurt. I'm not impaired. I'm not nothing. There's no reason why she should be raising my child anymore. She needs to come home.
Anxiety leads to constipation.
Your application to terminate the guardianship, and I'll also look at the home study, the information there on that, but none of that's going to happen quickly. It takes 30 days to schedule and complete a home study, so we're looking at minimum of already, and of course we got the holidays to deal with here in terms of people's schedules and stuff. So, we're looking at minimum, late December, first of next year before I have a hearing on your request to terminate the guardianship. And,
January.
I guess what I'm hearing here is that, we had a pretty structured way of doing exchanges and certain days and things like that, and I mean, of course, there are, the good thing about informality is it allows, both of you to adjust to your respective schedules. And, if child is sick, then you can make an adjustment. If one of you is sick, you can make an adjustment and work around that. The hard thing about it is, something comes up like Halloween, and there's kind of mutual misunderstanding as to who's going where and who's going to trick or treat. Then people get angry at each other, and I can imagine. I guess from Miss Riley's perspective, she's not only hearing from you, but it sounds like, your family members, et cetera, weigh in directly to her on it. And of course, they don't have, I mean, they're backing you up or whatever, but, they're legal sense, they don't have any, standing or ability to change the situation. They just kind of fan the flames and make it worse. So,
Right.
I would, if we could, because it seems like when the two of you communicate well, you're able to, work things out pretty well. It's just when we get extra communications going there. And I'll tell you, one option is we can do is I could limit the communications between the two of you. There's a program called Our Family Wizard, and it's run by the court. It's basically a text or email type program where you can exchange information about the child, but it's also monitored by the court. So if there's extra stuff on there, or one person cussing the other person out or whatever, then I get a report of it as well, and I take it into consideration when I make my decisions regarding placement of the child. So, that's one option. What are your thoughts about doing something like more formal like that? I'll hear from you first since I've got you, Ms. Millerbird.
I don't mind. I mean, I don't think that we need no monitored thing. I just feel like I don't need to talk to her no more. Listen, I have a whole son's dad. I have talked to my baby daddy all the time. I can talk to my baby daddy. I ask my baby daddy to let me see the baby all the time. He tells her that I want to see him. And you know what she do to him? She get an attitude at him, and she put him out because he choosing my side too hard. He choosing my side, he on my side. I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't got time for this. Every time I shouldn't have to go through something like this. I'm his mom. Every time you get mad, you shouldn't be able to say, oh, you're not seeing him anymore. You can't do that. That's not fair. Just like this weekend and the weekend before that, I wrote her and I wrote him. And I asked for my baby. She played wild goose chase with me so that I couldn't find him, so that I couldn't come get him, knowing that I could get the order and bring the police to her house and make her give me to him. So she made sure that he wasn't at home so I couldn't come pick him up. She'd make sure that he's not at home so I can come get my own baby, just so she can violate the order. She keeps violating the order. The whole point of her bringing this stuff to court, she's the reason why we here. Remember? She's the reason why we here. She brought us all here today. She wanted guardianship of Jaylon. She wanted this. This is what she wanted. I never told her she could have my son. Mind you, we're here because of her. But every time things don't go her way, she doesn't follow your order.
The wild goose chase, is that based on your communications directly?
No, I will call her. I will write her. I will show you. I wish I could pull up messages at court. I will show you messages of me saying, are you going to let me get my son this weekend? I don't care about me and her not being cool. That don't make the agreement over because me and her not cool. That don't have nothing to do with my child. That don't have nothing to do with the agreement. That don't have nothing to do with it. You should be old enough and grown enough to know that it doesn't have nothing to do with it. You should be old enough and grown enough to understand that you should not be trying to deprive a mother of time and memories with her child. You should not be doing that when nobody did that with you and your kids.
And you're saying that goes directly between you and Miss Riley, or is that going through?
Before I write my kid's dad, I will write her and ask her on my own. She won't write me back. or she won't answer the message. She blocked me on my phone so that I can't text her no more. But I wrote her off my boyfriend phone. And then she didn't answer the message or open it or say nothing. So I had my baby daddy call her. I'm sorry to call him at my father, the father of my kids, call her and ask her. He said, every time I say something to him about getting my baby, he say, you know, I can't say nothing to her about it. She's going to get mad at me. She's going to argue with me. She's going to cuss me out. You know, it's not going to be a walk in the park if you get him. Why? When I'm supposed to be getting him Friday through Sunday. She knows that. She knows that. It's still clearly stated in the order. Like,
And you're able to
order.
take
I need
him.
send me another order over my email so that I could be able to pick up my son this weekend, tomorrow, because I'm not going to keep doing this with her. I'm not going to keep I missed a whole Halloween with my baby. It's not a big deal. Halloween is not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But when your kid is living in somebody else's house, holidays are important to me. I got him a gingerbread house to do for Halloween, cookies to decorate, a pumpkin, all that, a costume, everything, just for this lady to say no. And then I'm gonna tell you another thing. Just since she's trying to act like she's so holy and she's just such a good lady, and she's just, oh my gosh, somebody's just threatening her. My mom is the one who's nice. My mom is the one who's trying to be the good grandmother. My mom wrote her nicely. My mom never called her no stupid B word while she lying. My mom don't even talk to her like that. My mom don't even talk like that. My mom ain't did nothing but try to be nice to that lady. That lady is evil. She told my mama she don't want her picking my son up from her house because she don't like her and she don't want her around her because she chose my side when she told my mama that I had a seizure at the hospital. She is evil. Like I said, she thinks she can tell people what to do. She thinks she's going to tell my mama she can't see her own grandson. That's not in the order. You're not going to tell nobody who they can and can't see. That's not in the order. You're not going to tell nobody nothing. I'm tired of her thinking that
the
she
important
runs somebody.
part, though, just if I can pause you, is that, I mean, the order is for you to have parenting time now. If you want
Right, it is, but I don't see why my mom, I didn't make my mom write them. I didn't make my mama write her or nothing. My mom is the one who really wanted my son on Halloween. She really wanted him. I'm not making her do nothing. She really wanted her grandson. I'm just saying, like, she should be able to see him. Why is it a problem for her to be able to see him? You know what I'm saying? She's just as much a part of the family too. She helps, she buys coats, she buys clothes, she buys shoes, she does everything just like she does. Why can't she be involved?
Yeah, no, and the thing is I'm not saying at all that your mom shouldn't or can't be involved, but it's all ultimately got to flow through you.
That's
You're the
cool.
one that, right?
I'm okay with all of that. My mom just tried to talk to her herself because I'm not cool with her right now. So my mom tried to be an adult about it. Talera don't like my mama and tried to fight my mama in a corner store. Talera is a mess. I'm tired of her acting like she's so good.
All right. Well, I mean, the thing is,
Oh,
you know, and
no.
of course, I don't see the day-to-day between
like
the
video of
families,
that.
and we
No,
got-
you don't. And I'm trying to keep the peace because I don't want you to take my baby and put him in foster care. But I'm trying to tell you, like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to end up getting in trouble with her because I don't like her. I don't like her. Like, I don't want to deal with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she said that she don't. She talked about she gonna try to fight me. Like, I'm not about to be fighting you. I'm not gonna be doing none of that. I'm about to be coming to get my son and going back home. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm not gonna be fighting you over my baby. That's stupid. When I didn't have no baby with you, I had a baby with your son, and you took it upon yourself to step into our business because you don't know how to mind your business.
Well, but now she has been raising the child here for a couple of years and bearing all the expenses, getting him to school and all that stuff. So
she don't bear all the expenses, and she don't only take him to school. We be taking him to school too. She's a liar. We do stuff for him just as much as she do. I came over her house and we swapped out clothes. She trying to tell you.
I got to get a clearer perspective about you know, how that works. And one thing I haven't done, Miss Miller Bird, because I wanted, you know, to give you enough you know, financial space, is I haven't ordered, you know, there are provisions in guardianship orders where sometimes, you know, you're ordered to pay a certain amount of money towards the child's expenses for a
Why
period
though?
of time.
So she can spend it on cigarettes and liquor? Like, I'm tired of this. Like, why are you making it seem like she's the better person, that she
Well,
deserves
no, it's
something
not,
from me?
and you know, none of the judges
Well, shots fired now.
do that. They're just, you know, more or less to acknowledge that, you know, there are costs, et cetera, of raising a kid. And, you know, there are a million of them, ranging from, you know, the car seat and everything else to, you know, the extra gas to transport and all that stuff when you're doing kid events. So taking time off to go to doctors, you know, there are just things that come up and that cost money that someone has to pay. And you know, I know you're saying you've been contributing clothes and some stuff that you keep at your place, but you know, the fact is Miss Riley's been doing that day to day. at least from my perspective, because she's had the majority of the custody of the child in this case. So let me bounce back to Miss Riley and get her response on communication between the two of you. Miss Riley, I suggested that our family wizard, I've used that. It's mainly used to establish custodial parents in divorce cases. I don't know why it couldn't be used here. Would you prefer to use something like that?
Yes, yes, I do, because it's a lot of lies that's been spoken. She took him to school the first week. She had the paperwork. She put her email on everything. She was on all the paperwork while she was sitting here trying to lie. I remember I
Then why
told
they
you.
still don't
I remember.
email you
Are
then?
you talking? Is you
Yes, I
talking?
am.
Are you talking? Can you mute her, please? Thank you. I let her take him to school the first week. So she seen all the paperwork, what was written down
Lies.
and everything. So with that being said, that's on her. She has different emails. Last email when she told me, I keep forgetting my email. I can't keep giving these people emails for her. And far as her mama, man, listen, ain't nobody blocked on my phone. I ain't blocked nobody because I need all your messages to come in. And I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to go to the library and I'm going to go and print out all the messages from the time that it started to show that the judge that I don't bother nobody. Don't nobody call me. I don't stop nobody from coming to see this boy, but don't nobody call me to come and get him or to come and pick him up until me and her is arguing. Then I got
Because
all this
nobody
extra
want to talk
stuff.
to you because you're stupid.
You're talking. You're talking. I thought you grew out of it. Talking and far as when he first started going to school, she only had 3 little outfits to start him in school. I sat there and went through all his clothes.
And you didn't have none.
I went through all them. How I ain't have none when I'm giving you some for him to start school? So how I ain't got none? You ain't have none to
All right,
start
we
for
can
him to
only have
start
one
school.
at a time, Miss Miller.
Okay, well, can you mute her, please? Like
Yep, I'm
thank you.
trying. Go ahead,
Thank
Miss
you.
Riley.
Thank you. She came here and I went through half of his clothes and we separated it. I let her pick out what she wanted to pick out, and for him to start school, she had 3 little outfits that she had for him. You know what I'm saying? And I think she got him a pair of shoes, but I think she was more like jealous of the fact that I showed her all the stuff that I had. You know what
Girl,
I'm saying?
that's just some bullshit.
And yeah, but you had nothing. You had nothing.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do for today, because it's clear to me that
We're not exactly building bridges here, are we?
right, the communication has broken down here. I will direct the only communications are only between you and Miss Miller Bird, and they're to be on our family wizard. And that can start. I'll get you 2 instructions on either, well, I'll get them as soon as I can figure them out myself, how to get the instructions to you, how to get onto our family wizard, and I'll have you communicate only on our family wizard regarding exchanges, and those exchanges are to go between the 2 of you, and I'll return them to the Wyoming Police Department until further notice on the schedule I previously gave out. We're just going to follow that weekend schedule even up through the holidays here, even though I know Christmas falls on weird days this week and
So
everything.
I'm not gonna get my baby on Christmas?
Well, we're going to follow the weekend schedule. If you want to modify it or something, we can set a hearing to do that. But we're going to follow the weekend schedule because things haven't been going good. So we're going to just follow the
I don't
schedule I
understand
previously set. Because here's the bottom line is none of this stuff changes. We can't have a single hearing like this, and I'm getting a lot of new information, and I don't really have anything in writing yet, from either party. Of course, I don't see the texts and the electronic exchanges. If you want to print them out, both sides, you're welcome to do so and show me, what that's looked like from your perspective, so you can illustrate the conflict that's come up at the termination hearing. But for now, I'm saying, what I need to do is I need to make it more controlled, and the only way I can do that is return it to the state of the order, to when it started working anyways, when we began this process. a year ago. And anyone that violates or goes against the terms of the order, either by, holding over with the child or not providing the child at the exchange point at the regular time, things like that, that'll will be a factor I'll consider as I consider the continuation of the guardianship. And the other factors will be the home study, Ms. Miller-Bird's ability to support the child financially. And, it's very likely that following that, the law allows me to put in place a court-structured guardianship where, I do provide for visitation and a continuation of the guardianship, with the idea of transitioning. And there are some services I can put in place, including reunification plan, things of that nature, where services will come and try to work with both families to see if the transition is a good idea. And then second, there can be a portion in there that's a support payment that would be but from Miss Miller-Bird, to the child support, which I haven't ordered yet, but it sounds like, that you might be in more of a position now, financially at least, to make, and they're not always huge payments, but there's something to say, hey, I'm able and willing to financially contribute to this, support of the child. So those are all things I'll consider, but I'll consider them at the termination hearing when I rework this. I would highly encourage, like I say, I want the communication to be between the two of you. Let's keep it to our family wizard, and let's keep, dad and other grandma out of the loop on it. They can certainly be involved with baby in the off times, and when the child is near, both of you, they can have contact with those people. But the people that should be communicating are the two of you, because you're the two that are specified in the order. So we can't go through third people or things like that. And and as much as you can, I would encourage the other folks not to interfere with the communications, because when they're sending texts or Facebooks or whatever, that can interfere. It causes, like you say, you can't control your mom, and you can't always control your adult son as to what they're doing or saying. But those people, when they're communicating, can create as much of a problem as it would have as it came from your mouth. So, insofar that extra people are kind of weighing in on this, they're not really relevant to the determination. That the two of you are the two that share, the custody and care of this child, and that's where I expect the communication to be, not through another person. And that's both require the both of you to figure out a way to communicate. I'll send out the instructions for our family wizard so I can oversee that. And like you say, we'll return to that schedule. I will revisit. We'll set a hearing sometime before the Christmas break, so I can divide up some parenting time over Christmas, so we can have, some sharing of time over Christmas. I'll hear both of you weigh in on that. Lisa, can I set a 1-hour hearing date between now and Christmas?
I'm sure that we can find something.
All right, we'll send out notice to the both of you. You both got notice for today's hearing, so I must have current emails or addresses that I'm sending things to. Is there anything that either of you need to update, email or address?
The pre-Christmas bonnet brawl. I already have the thumbnail.
Twice. See, Miss Riley, Miss Miller-Bird, do you have new contact information that we need to send to, or are you getting it? Okay.
No.
Very good. I'll send notices to you. I'll take a look at those dates over Christmas. Why don't the two of you take a look at the dates too, and kind of figure out, the good thing is we're not dealing with a guardianship, where guardians in Sault Ste. Marie and parents are down here in Grand Rapids, and that, it's certainly possible to do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day or some split like that. So both
I
of you
think that's
can,
about to happen in this
celebrate the
hearing at some
holidays
point.
in your own ways that you want to. With the child here, I'll take a look at those dates as well, and we'll figure something out, and I'll determine that at a hearing and issue a supplemental order just to govern, like I say, shooting for Christmas here. But short of that, and then including this upcoming Thanksgiving weekend. I just want it to stay on a regular schedule. So, just like I said
So-
in the order previously.
What we gonna do about tomorrow? Because every time you say that we supposed to get the baby and stuff like that, she don't listen. So
All right. Well, Friday then is exchange should go at the Wyoming Police Department like we did before. At the time and
it can't be at
locations.
8 in the morning tomorrow because
He
he
is
has
sick,
school.
Judge. He is sick and he has a bad cold. I wouldn't request that. I mean, if anything, if he's feeling better over the
Do
weekend.
you see what she doing?
Yeah. Well, what time
He is
does my
really
order?
sick.
Okay,
You
I
want
can
to
take
see?
care
You
of my
want to
own
see?
son.
You want me to take? Want me to take him in there? You want me to go in there and show you that he is
Hang
sick?
on. Well, Miss Riley, what time do we usually exchange on the weekends? Remind me.
Well, we would normally exchange either like if it's after school, it's gonna have to be like it was 8 in the morning Friday, but that was when he was out of school.
Yeah.
But then now it is what was it, 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock, and she has to bring him back by 7 Sunday.
Yeah, let's resume that 5 p.m. to 7 Sunday. I'm hoping he's feeling better by 5 p.m. tomorrow. You'll have to make the decision on it. But my feeling is even if he's a little under the weather, got a cold or whatever, Miss Miller Bird can get him medicine, keep him on clear liquids, do all that stuff. If
Okay.
she's, she might be at risk of getting sick herself, but I guess that's the risk that parents take when you're raising kids and they come home with stuff from school. So let's go back to that regular exchange. But yeah, let's make it at 5 p.m. tomorrow because of the school. He needs to get to school and home, back to you so you can get him over to the exchange point.
Okay, can you also let her know she's not taking him to school on Monday, so should it be Sunday at 7?
Yep, should be returned Sunday at 7 per my orders.
I
We'll
just
do it
want to
like
say
that.
something to Judge Rossi. I just want to know, what do you want from me? Like, I'm doing everything that you asked me to do. Why do you want my son to be with her so bad?
Yeah, no, it's not that. I just want him to be
Okay, but she's not doing anything that's right though. She's steady
Well,
just making
I'm taking care of him. I'm taking care of him.
Let me tell you what I look at. That's a fair question. Judge, what do you evaluate? And I'll tell you what I evaluate is the child getting to doctor's appointments? Does he get to school every day on time? Does he get that? I think that
he missed so much school and he don't get to doctor's appointments. He just
Well, if you want to bring attendance reports and things like that to show me that it's not what I think it is, but at least in my mind, he's getting to school every day. He's in first grade. She's communicating with the teachers enough, Miss Riley is, to know that, he's got an attention issue in the classroom and they're doing these steps. And IEP's fine. The IEP doesn't require medication. It just gets him extra help.
okay, but why is she trying to get him on medication when I'm not okay with that? I'm his mom.
Well,
I'm not trying to get him on medication. That's what they request in the paperwork.
And the school requested. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if we want to talk about that at the next hearing, we can have a conversation about the medication. Let's see if the doctor. I defer to the doctor.
Can you get her tested?
No, so we have to, I defer to the doctors on medication usually. But a lot of kids are on medication. I used to be very anti-medication. That's not the case anymore. I do think that appropriately prescribed medication can be very helpful for kids in some circumstances. And IEP is not just medication, though. It's also, sometimes they give the kid a bouncy ball to sit on, or they can have those fidget spinners to play with, when they're in the regular class. Those are just accommodations they make for the kid so he can participate in the regular program. And those are great accommodations to have available. And the IEP tells the school they have to do it. So, it's really to his benefit to have the IEP. No, it's not like the other kids know he's got it or anything. He's not in a different
I don't care about him having an IEP. I care about her giving him medication. I don't want her giving him nothing.
Well,
nothing that I want to do, but if it's going to help him in school, if that's what they require, a mild dosage, I don't want to do it neither. But if it'll help him get better in school and focus in school, that's what he needs. That's your problem.
Here's what I'll do on medication, Miss Riley. Yep, let's get the doctor's recommendation, because you said he's got an appointment already. Let's get the doctor's recommendation on appointment, on medication, and then during our next hearing, I'll hear both sides on medication and make a decision whether we want to begin him on
Am I able to get a lawyer?
tension meds. Yep, you absolutely are.
Yes, because I'm tired of this. I can't do
Yep.
this no more. It just seemed like everything is
You
getting
could
pointed
afford
for
a
her.
lawyer, but you can't
Yep.
afford your
Yes, I
child
can
with
get a
your
lawyer. I
child
can get a-
stuff.
I can get a
That's
court
crazy. You
Hang
can
on,
afford a lawyer.
let's pause, and certainly, right, both sides are entitled to representation, and if you can't afford to hire a lawyer, you can try, we'll advise, Legal Aid of West Michigan does provide representation in guardianship matters sometimes, and obviously they can't represent the both of you. I'd encourage both of you to reach out to Legal Aid of West Michigan, and then, there are some other advocacy groups out there that provide lawyers at no charge, as well as the ability to go out and to pay a lawyer and to hire them. A lawyer's helpful because they give you, they work with the judges all the time, so they know a little bit about what the file looks like and the material I'm looking at every day, and also they can kind of be a go-between for scheduling hearings and things of that nature. The downside of the lawyers is if you're paying them, they're very expensive. So, that it is an option for either side or either of you to hire private counsel, as we come up to the hearing, or like I say, to get a lawyer at no charge. I can't appoint lawyers on this matter because it's not a case that's not a child welfare case that qualifies for appointment. However, you can go to legal aid and obtain a lawyer that way if you don't have the money to pay for a private lawyer. So, and I think that would be in both sides' interest. Talk to a lawyer so you can kind of define what your goals are in the legal proceeding here, and I can tell you my goals are twofold. One, the state of Michigan says, well, birth parents should in general be able to parent their children. However, the state of Michigan also says, Judge, when you make any decision about the placement of a child, your very first thing that you have to take into consideration is the best interest of the child. And my view is the best interest of every child is to have a stable home environment. And that's just, basically what it sounds like, a roof over their head, warm place to sleep at night, a clean set of clothing to get into in the morning, and 3 meals a day. And then also attendance, at the age of the child here, attendance in school, and making sure, he's at school every day when he's supposed to be, and also getting extra help if needed in school on a regular basis. That becomes really important with school age kids. So those are the factors, and then of course the medical records and stuff like dental appointments and things of that nature. Those are the sort of things that I look at to see, are the child's needs being attended
But
to?
they're not, because she sits there and she tries to hold the baby hostage from his mom.
Lies.
Well, the thing is right, here's the thing is there's personal conflict there, but I do hear that Miss Riley, for example, got him to the dental appointment and got his teeth taken care of. Well, that's really important for any kid, just to get regular dental appointments and make sure, if a tooth's coming in wrong, well, then they pull the tooth out and, get that stuff. I just had one
My
of my
teeth will fall
daughters.
out too if nobody brush my teeth. My
Go,
teeth will
go.
fall out.
Yeah,
Girl, all you
everyone-
do is
well,
feed them candy.
No, it's, and the thing is
First week he got
right.
candy. Shut up, girl.
Every kid gets right cavities and things like that, and you simply got to go to the dentist and get them checked up on a regular basis. So those are
Just zero social skills. Just none. All around. Like just do not know how to act in public.
the things I look at when I'm evaluating his welfare is, and those things. The other piece of that is, unlike what he says, and he's not old enough. Ms. Millibird, you mentioned that he says he wants to go with you, and I have no doubt he enjoys being with you and spends his time with you. However, for a child under 14, the child's preference is not something that I consider.
Yeah, because that's the law. But I know my son. And I asked him. I don't know.
And you're
Girl,
welcome
shut
to,
up.
say it, but like I say, that really doesn't have any legal weight, right, with the court. That just, it's just not a consideration. It doesn't compare to, a report from the dentist's office or something like that. that the paper speaks louder than words, I guess, in the legal sense. So that's where we are currently. Like I say, we'll address these things at a hearing. They will be addressed, but I want in the meantime, the exchanges to go per my order and at the Wyoming Police Department, so they're in any conflict. And they should just be the two of you doing those, because it seems like when the two of you, cut the other people out of the equation, you're able to work things out, over time. So I'm hoping we can get back to that here. And in the meantime, I'll do the court hearings to determine, the status of the guardianship. But I can tell you, Ms. Miller-Bird, and both of you, I'm not going to make any drastic changes right away in the guardianship or in the visitation. Now, if the visitation stops working out, then, I can eliminate the visitation, but I don't think that's in anyone's interest right now. I think he does have an interest in seeing his mom. He gets to see his dad by virtue, I hope anyways, of staying with Miss Riley. And from his perspective, he's doing okay where he is now. And I'm going to evaluate and see if that's in his best interest, into the future. But like I say, just by the nature of court proceedings and my need to gather information, that's going to take some time. None of those decisions are going to be made by tomorrow, or necessarily even before Christmas or the holidays. So we're just going to have to figure out a way to make those things work out, so that things can be the best they can be, both through the holidays and going into next year and starting the next term at school in January, et cetera. And those are my goals. Keep those things that as from the child's perspective. I guess I'm looking at this through a 6-year-old's eyes. The benefit for him is to know, what's going to happen after school, who's going to pick him up, where he's going, does he get a snack? Doesn't he get a snack? And then who picks him up after that, and who he gets to spend time with. Some predictability. That's really important for kids. If that ends, if it becomes unpredictable because, the parents can't provide, the people with custody can't provide that predictability, then that makes it harder to raise a kid. And that's all there is to it. So I'd ask the two of you, work it out like adults. Be as predictable as you can for the child here, because that's what benefits him, and obviously don't badmouth the other person in the presence of the child, because, he loves the both of you. He loves his situation. He thinks he's got a great deal going. Let him continue to think that that's a good thing. And I'll make the legal adjustments on my end that need to be made, or changes in due time. But it does take time. And, in the meantime, my goal is just to keep, if you look at it from the 6-year-old's perspective, he wants the people he loves, that he can count on them, and that they're not fighting with each other in front of him. There's not conflict in front of him. So he doesn't, even if you don't love each other, which I'm not going to order, or anyone else, that you have the best relationship with each other, but he has to know that at least you get along well.
Don't worry, it still gets worse.
Enough so that he can make sure he gets that next snack, or, Christmas gift, or whatever it is, it's really important in a little guy's life. My 5-year-old this morning saw the snow outside, and she said, "Dad, it's winter." And I said, "Are you glad for winter?" She said, "Yeah, because her birthday's in February, so that means my birthday's coming." And I said, "Well, it's still a ways off, but yeah, kids look at real small things like that. They don't look at legal papers or whatever. They just look at, did I get my snack after school? Did someone look at my thing that I made in school, my coloring or whatever, and look at that and said, good job, or keep it up or whatever." So let's keep it as stable as possible for the sake of the child in this case. That's what I'm shooting for. And I'll increase the hearings here so that we can get things sorted out, both for the holidays and then, in respect to the guardianship in the long term. But none of that's going to happen quick. So in the short term, we're going to have to be as nice and civil as possible with each other. I know that's hard right now, but that's what I'm asking you to do. And, I'm asking it for the sake of the little guy who, like I say, he loves Nana and he loves Mom, and he'd love to think that everyone gets along well here, like it's the land of Oz. And our job as parents sometimes is to pretend like it does, even when it doesn't. So that's how I view the case. So all that being said, we're concluded for today. I'll send you both notice of the next hearing, which I can get in within the next month.
Did I miss it? After all that, I missed the naked guy. But I see from the chat it happened. It happened. All right. Who's that? Judge Rossi? I like him. He's a nice guy. He was talking too much at the end, but he really maintains good composure through all that crazy. I still don't understand what's going on. I don't understand the relationships. Like, I don't understand why she's the guardian if there's a grandma that's around. I understand why the mom lost him because she was in jail. Mom made arguments that I could relate to. I don't know enough about the case to know if they're right, but she made arguments that made sense. But her affect is intolerable, but so is the other ones. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. Maybe if it comes up at the right time, we'll do the pre-Christmas Battle of the Bonnets. You never know. All right, people, it's Friday. Behave yourselves. Get an Uber. I'm not bailing you out.